Good evening and welcome into the nightcap of the second day of play in the BCL Americas 2023-24 season. Alongside my partner, Paul Mokeski, I'm Craig Feta, and we're so glad you can be with us wherever you're tuned in from around the Americas or around the world. This one is a Group C matchup between Boca Jrs of Argentina and Hebraica Macabi of Uruguay. Hebraica comes into tonight after losing an overtime heartbreaker 92-87 to Flamengo. And what makes it even more heartbreaking is that Hebraica led by 15 points in the second half and by 2 with less than a minute left in overtime. Paul Mokeski, how does a team bounce back on a quick turnaround like this after having a loss or a win slip through their fingers?
Well, I think you have to have a short memory. And, the good thing is if you do this in a regular season, you probably have 2 or 3 days to mull it over and blame yourself or, feel bad about it. But now, it's the next day. You just got to move on mentally. And, at the same time, the coaching staff has to look at what got us that lead and how we gave up that lead and then make those small corrections for tonight's game.
Boca Jrs, meanwhile, have gotten off to a relatively slow start in LNB Argentina play, but they made the finals of that league last year where they lost to Quimsa, and they returned most of that roster, so they're looking to get out of the group stage for the first time at BCL Americas in this, their second appearance. Boca are led by Argentina national team players Leo Mainoldi and Carlos Schottman, along with American veteran center Raven Barber. So this is a squad, Boca Jrs, that has high aspirations as we look up and down their roster. They've got some experience and they've got some depth as well.
Yeah, and once you have success, you want to continue on and improve and take it to the next level, and that's where the Boca Jrs are right now. And it's going to be interesting as they go up against another good team to see if they can make that next step.
As we look at the Hebraica Macabi roster, Owen Good went down with an injury last night. He had 12 points, but we'll see what his status is for tonight. Hebraica Macabi, led by Jordan Williams, had 15 points, and Ernesto Ogilvy had 18 points, but those guys played heavy minutes. Ernesto Ogilvy about 37 minutes last night in the losing effort. Franklin Hassel played about 36 minutes. He had an outstanding game. Frank had 23 points and 11 rebounds, not to mention 3 assists and 3 steals. Hebraica Macabi led by Leonardo Silberstein, assisted by Alejandro Muro. And Boca Jrs head coach is Carlos Duro. As we await the starters for each team. Carlos Duro assisted by Emmanuel Quintans and Gonzalo Perez. As we mentioned, second game of the day. Just about half an hour ago, we saw Obras take down UDEC 93-75. That was a competitive game despite the final score. Obras really ran away with it in the last few minutes. Obras had it, or rather, UDEC had it in single digits for most of the second half. But they could not get any closer than about 6 or 7 points. And then Obras with the knockout punches late. We are in Maracanazinho in Rio de Janeiro, virtually anyway.
I wish regular, right?
Yeah, it's summer down there.
Yeah, and here's where we go, Craig. With these type of tournaments, you play back to back, and you have successes and failures, and it's a physical battle, but it's also a mental battle of how you can get past. I always thought, like in 7-game series in the NBA or tournaments like this, you can't get too high when you win, and you can't get too low when you lose. So you got to keep a level head mentally and focused. And even when you get really fatigued in these tournaments, you have to stay mentally focused on what you're doing and what your job is. And that's the player's job, but it's a lot on the coaching staff, the head coaches, and the assistant coaches to keep everybody focused. You see right here that their strength and conditioning guys are, trying to get them fired up and get them focused. And it's a whole staff, a coaching staff that has to help do that. And the teams that, have the talent and then the mentality to do that are the ones that are successful in these tournaments.
There you get a look at our officials for this game. Krishna Dominguez of Mexico, Jason Steele of Canada, and Ramiro Marquez in Chauspe of Brazil. Primarily featuring groups C and D the first 3 days of competition, as we get a look at the starters for Boca. And a look at Carlos Duro, the head coach.
I've been in that situation. You're like, you think you're prepared, you're ready, everything's okay, you got your clipboard, you're ready to drop the first play, and we're going to score. But at the same time, in the back of your head, you're going, man, I hope we're ready.
What did I miss? And we just had a look at Leonardo Silberstein as we look at the starting lineup for Hebraica Macabi: Hassel, Romero, Parodi, Williams, and Ogilvy.
And Craig, as we talked before, starting these games is so important to get off to a good start. But like we found out last night, ending the games are just as important.
Yeah. We mentioned a few moments ago that in the first 3 days of play, we're featuring Groups C and D. And then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we will get into Groups A and B.
And of course, now for pre-thing, you got to have your little handshakes and your little scenarios you got to go through.
Sorry about that. A little bit of technical difficulty there. We talked about Group C and D, and we will get to Groups A and B Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Gladiadores de Anzoátegui, Quimsa, Sao Paulo, Club Nacional de Montevideo, and Halcones de Jalapa, not to mention Real Estelí. But some business to take care of here tonight. And we are underway. Williams, beg your pardon, that's Ogilvy. Now gets it back. And it's Perotti to his left. Shot clock at 5. Puts up the floater, and that is good. Pretty shot by Luciano Perotti, getting Hebraica Macabi off to a nice start. Again on the floor for Boca, Leo Minoldi. Marcos Mata, 37-year-old captain. Nicolas Stenta, 19 years old. Jose Vildosa and Raven Barber.
Yeah, not a good way to start for Boca. They turn the ball over with not any pressure on them.
Perotti, the open jump shot off the glass and in. Pretty bank job there, and Hebraica's out to a 4-0 lead.
You love to see players use that glass and bank it in and have a nice touch. Too many young players don't know how to do that.
Rebound for Ogilvy. He had 5 boards last night in addition to his 18 points in 37 minutes. Ogilvy from 19, splash. So a nice start for Hebraica Macabi, 6-0.
And they're already sitting in the zone defensively. It looks like a 2-3 and, trying to force Boca to shoot from the outside, which they did successfully.
And is that possibly also an energy-saving measure early in this game?
Oh, for sure, yes. It shouldn't be, but it is.
Hassel misses the left-hand hook, and Boca looking for their first points. Vildosa gives it up. 3-pointer on the way. That one misses. Flat-footed rebound to Manuel Romero. Romero splits the defenders, now kicks it out. 3 on the way. Splash! Perotti scores again.
And if you don't get a bucket here, you, as a coach, you need to call timeout as soon as you can, because, you're really flat coming out and the other team is on fire.
Sidestep 3 after letting the defender fly by. No good. I believe that was Stenta that took that shot. Williams right side, 3 on the way. Romero, that misses. Rebound grab, and here comes Mata. Mata drives right side, slows up, lets the defender go by, and he goes off the glass. Nice bucket by Marcos Mata, the veteran on the attack. Gets a bucket for Boca.
Well, that'll break the ice a little bit.
Romero on the drive, kicks it into the corner. 3 on the way. That looked good, but it ringed out. Hassel the rebound. Williams, a long 3, and that is good. Jordan Williams from way outside. Celebrated a birthday, his 31st last night, and he gives Hebraica Macabi a 12-2 lead following that 3-pointer. And there's the timeout by Carlos Duro. We've seen a couple of teams get off to slow starts the last 2 days, Paul. Again, what does Carlos Duro tell his team in this timeout?
Well, I think at this point you got to say wake up, because we're going through this, we're sleepwalking through this, and you got to wake up and get in this game quickly, or it could get out of hand, and that's what you got to emphasize.
Leonardo Silverstein on the other end, no doubt pleased by his team's performance early on. They're 5 of 8 from the floor, 2 of 4 from 3-point range. By contrast, Boca just 1 of 5. 4 of their shots have been from 3-point range. Their only bucket was that nice running floater by Marcos Mata off the glass.
And Craig, we've talked about the very vocal, emotional coaches, and we've talked about the laid-back, quieter coaches. And at this point, the Boca Juniors coach has to really get the energy up in that huddle and get his team rolling. Get him some energy here.
Well, Diro puts Carlos Schottman into the game. Actually, he started in the game. All 5 starters still on the floor.
And that's what you don't want to see after a timeout is a moving pick and an offensive foul and another turnover. Very frustrating.
So Hebraica looking to extend this early 10-point lead. Parodi, step back jumper. He gets his own rebound, and now Williams from 12 feet. Put back, no, by Hassel. Williams there, though, for the cleanup off the glass and in.
Just pounding the offensive glass and getting shot after shot.
14-2 in favor of Hebraica Macabi. Just a disastrous start for Carlos Duro and Boca Jrs.
And when you get a start like this and you like to play the zone on defense and rest your guys a little bit, getting this lead lets you do that.
And there's Jose Vildosa on the attack. He scores to make it 14-4. Now Parodi again on the right side. 5:20 to play first quarter. Parodi into the lane, picks up the dribble. Gets it back from Ogilvy. Shot clock at 5. Ogilvy spinning. Splits the defender. Shot blocked by Mainoldi.
They called it travel.
Yep.
That looked like a jump ball, maybe.
Nearly halfway through the first period, Boca just 2 field goals so far. Neither team has shot a free throw. Just 1 foul called in this game so far. Vildosa. And Schottman the miss. Tried the wraparound pass. Ogilvy gets it in traffic, up and in. Tough shot by Ernesto Ogilvy.
Ogilvy's just a power player. He's strong underneath, can finish around the rim. Just power. He's hard to handle in the paint.
34-year-old Panamanian captain for Hebraica Macabi. Shot clock at 5. Boca not really going toward the basket, and maybe not the best time to try a behind-the-back pass for Carlos Schottman when your team's trailing by 12 and you've only scored 2 field goals and doing a behind-the-back pass in the lane, but they get lucky as it goes off the foot of a Hebraica defender, and Boca gets the shot clock reset to 14. Schottman. Now Mainoldi for 3, and that is good. Another veteran, Leo Mainoldi, 38 points. We've seen him at the international level for a long time.
Yeah, you make a 3 like that, and look at their defensive pressures picked up now, and they create an offensive foul. It's interesting how that stuff works. You know, you make a shot, and you have a little more energy on defense, and you know you're in the guy's face, and you know, energy and effort are very underrated in the game.
It's another one of those things, Paul, where I mean the guys they're running, they're playing hard, but you can just tell when they've got just that little bit more energy. You know, how do you get a team to start doing that? Or is that one of those where if you knew the answer to that?
Yeah. I mean, but you can notice, right? You can run hard and do all that stuff. But when you get energy and effort, you have that extra bounce to your game, to your step. And you can visibly see it. And, you know, it's up to a coach to motivate the team, but it's also up to the team and the players to motivate themselves.
And Jose Vildosa hits from three-point range. He's got 5. And Boca has cut this lead to 6, 16-10.
And you know, Craig, that energy and bounce, comes like from offense and making a three, but it also comes from effort on defense and getting a turnover and getting out early.
Juan Ducase and Brian Garcia into the game for Hebraica Macabi, Manuel Rodriguez and Sebastian Vega on for Boca. Coming up on 3 minutes to play in this first quarter. A 6-0 run by Boca has cut this lead to 6. Trailed by as many as 12. Tend to shoot for Hebraica when they get it in. There's Garcia looking. Gets it to Hassel. Now back outside to Romero. Romero had 5 points and 5 assists last night. That three is up and good.
Tough shot. Contested. Ooh.
Brian Garcia 0 for 1 last night from distance. Hits on his first attempt tonight. Vega giving it up to Vildosa left side. Jose launches the three. That rings out and then tipped in by Manuel Rodriguez.
And that was he got it off the rim, but as we know, that's legal in FIBA. You can tip it in or tip it off once it hits the rim.
Yep. It's always funny when you have a primarily American audience in attendance at a FIBA game. The first time that happens and a defender wipes the ball off the rim, everybody, you can hear the whole arena go, "Oh, you can't do that." Oh, yeah, you can.
And American players that go overseas aren't used to doing that. They have to learn how to play that way.
Yeah, I mean, you're taught your whole basketball life you can't do that. Oh, a nice little move by Sebastian Vega to get into the lane, and then a foul called.
And Craig, you know, when I coached in the G League, D League, we used that rule. They applied that rule to test it for the NBA, and really throughout a game, it doesn't really happen that much. It happens sometimes,
no, it really
but
doesn't.
Not as much as you would think. Yeah.
Usually, and I've covered a lot of FIBA games. I'm talking in the hundreds. Usually you see it in the first, 3 or 4 possessions, and then you don't see it the rest of the game. It's just uncanny how that happens.
Yeah, and I would think you see it a little more on offense, tipping it back in, and less on taking it off the rim, because it's more natural to try and tip it in than take it off the rim.
1:30 to play in this first quarter. Boca trailing by 7, 21-14. Hebraica led by as many as 12. Back out to Perotti. He launches the three. Left side, no good. That was rebounded by Mainoldi. Now at the other end, my goodness, Manuel Rodriguez.
What a great no-look pass. And good movement. Good cut.
Lead down to 5, 21-16. And a foul called on Manuel Rodriguez. Federico Haller into the game for Hebraica. He only played a couple of minutes last night. Seen him on the Uruguayan national team a number of times. Wow, Brian Garcia again. Maybe he needs to shoot the threes with guys in his face, because he's 2 for 2 tonight.
Sometimes you could be too open.
I mean, is that something that's a thing where a guy and Hassel comes up with a big block there, but can a guy be a better shooter with the defender in his face?
Yes, I think mentally, if you're a really good shooter and you're so open that you expect to make the shot, everybody else expects to make the shot, it's a little more pressure on you.
Parodi misses the one-footed floater. Rebound back tap to Schottman, and he throws it up at the end of the first quarter, but it's no good from three-quarters court, and Hebraica Macabi leads Boca after one, 24-16. Hebraica 10 of 18 from the floor for 55.6%. 4 of 7 from three-point range. They did not shoot a free throw. Boca 6 of 14 for 42.9%. 2 of 9 from beyond the arc. 22%. They were 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Luciano Parodi with 7 points already. Franklin Hassel has not scored, but he's got 5 rebounds already and a pair of assists. Ernesto Ogilvy, 4 points. Manuel Romero, 2, and Jordan Williams with 5, including a long three-pointer in that first quarter. For Boca Jrs, Leonardo Mainoldi, 5 points, 2 boards. Manuel Rodriguez, 4 points. Jose Vildosa has 5. And Marcos Mata has 2 points. I saw that there was a Mata on the Boca Juniors roster, and I thought, my goodness, that can't be Lorenzo Mata
UCLA.
from Mexico.
Yeah, I remember him. Yep. UCLA, he's about 6'8".
He had one of the most ferocious dunks I have ever seen on a putback at FIBA Americas in... No, I beg your pardon. It was South American Championship in 2016 in Medellin. He put up a tip dunk that I thought the entire dome was going to come down. At any rate, it's 24-16 here. Second game of the night. Earlier on, we saw Obras take down Udek 93-75. Two more games tomorrow in Group C and D. Franca and Obras, and then Boca Juniors and Flamengo. Go ahead, partner.
Yeah, so far in this game, Hebraica Macabi has had better ball movement and player movement. Thus, they're shooting way better from the three. And also, it kind of staggers Boca because they're in that zone. I think they might have come out of the zone, but they just had more ball movement and player movement.
Schottman gives it up to Barber. He misses. He goes down to the floor. Barber's a guy you might be familiar with. Mount St. Mary's 2013. He was the Rookie of the Year with Halifax in NBL Canada. He's played in Canada, Sweden, Colombia, Portugal, Spain, and Israel.
Yeah, I remember him in Halifax because I was coaching in Moncton up in Canada.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Yeah. Very cold up there. Moncton Miracles.
Moncton Miracles, yep.
But he's a solid player, and he has experience at all different levels, and he's a team player. Does whatever it takes to help the team win.
Federico Haller having a seat on the bench for Hebraica Macabi. Actually, I'm missing my Spanish pronunciation there. That should be Haller with the double L's. Vega gives it up right side. Now the nice wraparound pass to Jose Di Filippo. He misses the three from the corner there. For the putback, though, is Mr. Barber.
Just strong.
It's 24.
Very strong rebounder around the basket.
Be back down to 6. Pass stolen away and then stolen back.
We call that cookies. He just took it from him.
Between the legs pass to Frank Hassel. He works his way in, then has it stolen away. Nice help
Cookies.
Defensively by Jose Di Filippo.
I'm going to start you saying that, Craig. Cookies.
Never heard that before. Cookies.
They're back. They're back in their zone, sitting in that 2-3. And even though they're in the zone, Boca has to still move the ball, swing it side to side, and attack the middle of that zone. That's how you break a zone defense. Attack the middle.
Let's see if Boca does that. They get it down to Barber, and they try to attack the middle, but it ended up back outside. Di Filippo giving it up underneath to Rodriguez. And he gets fouled.
Yeah, they had the right idea there, right?
Yeah, they did exactly what you counseled. They worked it down low to Barber. He tried to zip the pass in the middle. Went through the hands, but they got it back down, and now Rodriguez draws the foul. Second team foul on Hebraica. Boca has not committed an infraction just yet. Filippo swings it, gets it back.
There's the middle. Nope. There you go.
Yep. Back outside to Vildosa for 3. Missed that one badly. Rebound grabbed. And shot clock violation.
Craig, that's an example of they went inside, kicked it outside, and the player had an open 3. Instead of taking it, he takes a dribble and then has to take a contested 3. That makes no sense. Just shoot. If you're open, shoot when you get the ball.
8 minutes to play in the second quarter. Hebraica looking to extend this advantage as Perotti attacks the bucket on the left side, draws the foul on Di Filippo. I think Filippo got him twice.
Yeah, he got him at first and then got him with the hand at the end.
Let's make sure, right? So Perotti to the free throw line. He was 2 for 2 last night from the stripe. Has not attempted a free throw here yet tonight. And he drains the first. So
am I seeing the same frayed nets here that we saw in Franco? They're the same frayed nets. Interesting.
Yeah. Starting to see them all over South America. I mean, I first saw them in 2017 in Montevideo, Uruguay, and I was just floored. And now we see him practically everywhere in South America. Behind the back pass from Perotti, baseline jumper won't go for Haller. Now into the corner for Di Filippo. Actually, Di Filippo gets it back between the rings. He attacks. Then has to pick up his dribble. That went off the hand of Ernesto Ogilvy. So it'll be Boca ball as Manuel Rodriguez has a seat on the Boca bench.
And you could see right there that the spacing for Maccabi is just not there. You need to spread the floor and give everybody a chance to attack with spacing.
Shot clock at 3. Here comes Mata. Launches the long three-pointer, missed everything. Hebraica Macabi has scored just 2 points in the second quarter with just over 3 minutes elapsed. Boca has also only scored 2 points in the second quarter. So the offenses have stalled a bit.
I will call it a defensive battle. How about that?
There you go. Perotti Outside to Williams for three. Splash! That one. Jordan Williams says, no stall in here. Williams has 8.
Jordan Williams says, my name is Jordan and my number is 23.
Lead is out to 11. Mentioned Jordan Williams yesterday, had a birthday, 31 years old. Celebrated with 15 points and 8 rebounds as DiFilippo misses the layup. Herodi driving, giving it up underneath to Hayer. Picks up the dribble, and that's a 3-second. Yep.
Yeah, he got himself a nice pass, but he got himself too far under the basket and too many fakes there.
What do I do here? What do I do here?
Yeah, good. Well, good defense. Remember we talked the other day. Good defense just don't jump, and they didn't.
Yep. Kick out to DiFilippo for 3. That is good. Jose DiFilippo gets Boca back to within 8 at 29-21. Coming up on 5.5 minutes to play second quarter. And then DiFilippo commits the foul.
Kind of a silly foul there. You just made a 3.
Really
you did a good thing. You foul someone 40 feet from the basket. That doesn't make much sense, but that drives coaches crazy too.
Now Ogilvy loses the handle, and that's going to be Boca ball. Look at the veteran Luciano Herodi having a seat on the bench. He will be 30 years old in February. It's another guy who's played at the international level for a good long while. And Oldie off the glass, no good. Barber fighting for the rebound, but ripped out of there by Williams. Inside 5 minutes to play, second quarter. Down low to Ogilvy, defended by Mata. Here comes the help, and jump ball call.
Not
so sure about that.
Yeah.
In the NFL, that would have gotten you 10 yards.
Holding.
Hebraica keeps it on the alternating possession. Williams, catch and shoot 3. Ooh. Oh, my! With a defender in his face, made a little contact on top of it. But Jordan Williams nets that one.
He's what you call a shooter that can make tough shots. I mean, hand in their face, body in their face. He got 3 baseline picks to get open, but barely opened, and what a shot.
Williams now 4 of 5 shooting, 3 of 3 from beyond the arc. Juan Guerrero fouled as he makes his way into the lane.
And you see that all the time now, Craig, where offensive players drive to the basket and seek out the defensive player's arms and hands and create that contact to get to the free throw line. James Harden, obviously one of the best at it, but now you see it at every level where offensive players drive to the basket and seek the defender's arms and hands to create fouls.
Now, I don't know if you can corroborate this if you ever saw it firsthand, but legend has it that Jordan would go in the air, let the ball go, and then slap his own arm so that the officials would hear it.
Absolutely. I saw it firsthand, especially if he had a drive to the basket and then his patented kind of underhand flip shot, he would flip it and then hit his own hand, and the referee would hear that.
Vamos a hacer una 3 así, mirá. Así.
Let's listen into Leonardo Silverstein
Vamos a hacer una 3
during
y
this
ponemos,
timeout.
Manu, venimos para el lado de Jordan. Quiero que salga Jordan. 4 y 5. Sale Jordan. Jordan, vos recibís no handoff. You pick central. ¿Ok? Entonces, tenemos así. Cali, vos que vas a estar acá, yo quiero ahora a Juan y acá y a Cali acá. Mirá, cuando Jordan tiene la bola y viene el 5 a poner la cortina, yo quiero que vos, que estás acá, cortes el next y vos vayas a la esquina. Jordan, tenés el pase a Juan y en la esquina. ¿Está claro? Vamos, dale.
Okay, I couldn't understand most of that and couldn't see the board, but I did hear no handle. That either means don't dribble it or the guy you're guarding can't dribble.
I understood a lot of talk about the lane as we look at that three-pointer by Jordan Williams. (32-23), 4:15 to play. Kase into the lane. Right hand floater off the glass wouldn't go. Shotman back into the game for Boca. Gives it up to Mainoldi. Shotman launches the three. That rattles out. Williams again for three. Didn't quite have himself gathered for that one.
Not a great shot.
Missed and left.
Forced it.
Inside 3.5 minutes to play now in this second quarter. Pass across the court to Guerrero. He launches the three. No. Ogilvy the rebound. Santiago Calimares into the game for Hebraica Macabi. He played just 1:42 last night. But with Golan Gut sidelined with the injury, the 20-year-old Calimares seeing action early tonight. Into the corner for Calimares. He takes it, misses it off the glass. Ogilvy with the left hand put back up and in. Offensive rebound and the bucket for Ernesto Ogilvy.
Nice to see a big man getting the offensive rebound and using his left hand. Very nice.
Nice recovery defensively by Williams, but better offensively is Leo Mainoldi, another Argentine veteran. Seen him at the international level for years. 38 years old. He'll be 39 in March. Hopefully he will be leading his team into the playoffs, at least if you are a Boca fan. And just as we celebrate Leo Mainoldi, he commits a foul. 14th foul on Boca.
Hey, Craig, you see at this level too, a lot of older, more mature, experienced players, because that's what gets the job done when it gets physical and tough in there. And, you know, for all these teams, you see, 38, 39, even 41-year-old players that can still play, and they're very valuable at this level.
And we see a lot of guys, American imports at this level, who had time in the G League. But what's the difference between a league like this and the G League and being a couple of steps away from the big show in the NBA? I mean, you've got a lot of quality players in these leagues. Is it just a couple of inches of height? Is it a little bit less athleticism? I mean, what's the difference for some of these guys?
It's all the above, Craig. It's all that, You're not a 6'6" forward. You're a 6'9" forward, or you're not a 6'8" center. You're a 7-foot center. But also, the G League is now definitely has become even more and more the developmental league for the NBA. So on most of the rosters of the teams in the G League, because they're owned by NBA teams, you very rarely see players over 25, 26 years old. You see a lot of players at 20, 21, 22 because they're trying to get their skill level up, and the NBA teams are looking for the younger talent. And, you know, you see maybe more athleticism and a faster game, but not necessarily a better game, because a lot of those young guys that are athletic and long and all that, they don't know how to play the game yet. Their basketball IQ is not at that level yet. But that's what the NBA teams
Oh, my goodness. Behind the back pass by Carlos Schottman. And that gets Boca Jrs bench up. The easy finish for Jose Vildosa. Watch this.
Nice.
He even put a little spin on that. That's a guy who has played with Lapovitola.
Escuchame una cosa, lo que nosotros tenemos que hacer, el hombre que tiene balón,
on the
lo tenemos que
Argentine
presionarlo,
national team.
hay que presionarlo.
That's a page out of his playbook. Nicola Laprovitola and Facundo Campazzo.
Lautaro acá, Cortinaz primero a Luciano.
Seen those guys make those kind of passes.
¿Está bien?
He's a veteran player, and he didn't make that pass because he wanted to pass behind the back. He made that pass because the only pass he could get to the cutter was a behind the back pass. That's why he did it within the pass.
Did it within the flow of the game.
And it made sense. Like, I think we saw earlier that someone made a behind the back pass in the middle of the paint.
Yeah, it was him.
There's no way. It was him. It doesn't work, that situation.
Here we get a look at Jose Di Filippo's three-pointer.
Little spin move in the post. Very effective.
Lead down to 7. Boca led by as many as 12 in the first quarter. They've had an 11-point lead on 3 separate occasions in this second quarter. Minute 20 to play in this half. And now Perotti draws the blocking foul. Now that's the way to foul a guy on a fast break without getting the unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, I mean, he stopped the break effectively. Unfortunately, he's supposed to give the guy a chance to turn around and move, but you know, that's better than grabbing him and not making a play on the ball, for sure.
And giving them 2 shots and the ball.
Exactly. That's another smart play. And, you know, I coached in the G League, D League for a long time, and we talk about experience and non-experience. If you're in the G League and you're 28, 29 years old, you need to move on and come over and play in some of these leagues and make some good money, because the NBA teams aren't looking at you anymore once you get past a certain age.
Yeah, and I think that's what the original intent of the D-League was when it first started. Now it's really getting to that where you see guys on 2-way contracts going back and forth, almost like the minor leagues in baseball.
Yeah, and
some of the alphabet leagues.
Yeah, that comes with the NBA teams owning their G League teams. When the D League first came into existence, most of the D League teams were independently owned, so those owners wanted to win, and now they're owned by NBA teams, and those NBA teams want to evaluate young talent. That's what they're there for, and coaching and training and all that. But the G League is now for evaluation. The G League is now actually more the development league than it was when it was the development league.
Right. And a lot of these alphabet leagues across the USA in the minor leagues and the semi-pro leagues, those are the ones that are feeding some of these overseas teams. The league that I was involved in sent 60 players overseas in 4 years.
Yeah, because those players tend to be a little more older and mature and have bounced around a little bit. And, you know, the deal is if you're a player looking to play in those alphabet leagues here in the States, you got to make sure you're on a team that takes good video, does real stats, and then you can promote yourself to these other leagues, because if you have that, you can actually come to teams like this and help them win games, and that's what it's all about.
Second game of the night. This one at Maracanazinho in Rio, between Hebraica Macabi and Boca Jrs. Hebraica has led this one the whole way. They've led by as many as 12. It's down to 7. Jose Vildosa was trying to make it 4 as we're inside of a minute to play. Earlier on tonight, Obras defeated UDEC 93-75. 2 games tomorrow. Franca will take on this Obras team, and Boca Jrs. will take on Flamengo. Long three-pointer just ticked off the front iron, and here comes Boca once again. Schottman.
I'm surprised he didn't pass behind his back there.
Vega. Oh. Stolen away by Perotti. Shot clock is off. Game clock at 8. Perotti zips the pass inside to Ogilvy. He double clutched that. He thought the defender was going to come over and then went right up with it. Now Schottman from nearly half court, and that just about went in. So we go to halftime with Hebraica Macabi on top 36-27. As we look at the numbers on this one so far. Hebraica Macabi 14 of 29 overall from the floor for 48%, 6 of 13 from beyond the arc. 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Boca, meanwhile, 10 of 31 for 32%. 3 of 18 from three-point range. More than half of Boca's shots have come from outside the arc. They are 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Hebraica leading the rebounding battle 20-14. Let's roll the highlights as we go over the individual numbers. For Hebraica, Ernesto Ogilvy, 8 points, 4 rebounds. Luciano Perotti, 9 points, 2 boards, 3 assists. Jordan Williams, 11 points, 2 rebounds. Ryan Garcia has 6. Frank Hassel has not scored, but he does have 6 rebounds and 2 assists. Manuel Romero rounding out the scoring with 2 points, and he's tallied 3 dimes as well. For Boca Jrs., Leonardo Mainoli, 7 points. He also has 3 rebounds. Marcos Mata, 2 points, 4 rebounds. Carlos Schottman has not scored, but he has 3 assists, including that pretty behind-the-back job. Jose Vildosa, 7 points, 2 rebounds. Raven Barber has 2. Jose Di Filippo has 3. Juan Guerrero has 2. And Manuel Rodriguez has 4. All those numbers add up to a 36-27 lead at halftime for Hebraica Macabi. We will be back with second half action live from Rio in just a few moments. December window. This game between Hebraica Macabi and Boca Jrs. It's been all Hebraica Macabi so far. They led by as many as 12 points in the first half. They take a 9-point lead into the second half alongside my partner, Paul Mokeski. I'm Craig Feta. So glad you can be with us wherever you're tuned in from around the Americas or around the world.
Hey, Craig, here's a stat that's going to blow your mind.
Okay.
Only eight free throws shot total in the first half, 4 by each team. That's amazing to me. That means even a really clean game where the refs are doing a great job, and now after 15 seconds in the game, they get the first foul in the third quarter. It's the announcer jinx, not the free throws, but for fouls.
Both teams only committed 7 first-half fouls. Hebraica only 8 turnovers in that first half, and despite the fact that Boca trailed the entire first half, they only had 6 turnovers. So that sounds to me like Boca's missing a lot of shots, and sure enough, they're 3 of 18 from beyond the arc, 10 of 31 overall, as the second free throw is up and in for Raven Barber. Once again, a big welcome to our audience in the U.S. on FanDuel TV, in South America on DirecTV, and around the rest of the world on the BCL Americas YouTube channel. The floater by Parodi misses. And we talked about that shot as Marcos Mata hits the three-pointer. We talked about that floater, if guys can practice that or not. You said Steve Nash used to practice all kinds of shots like that. I've been to a ton of practices, not quite at that level, but I've seen guys try to practice that shot over folding chairs, and it's just you see them made more in games in a live situation than you do in practice. That's going to be a goaltend there.
Yeah, I mean, in practice, it's hard to simulate. You know, you have guys with brooms holding brooms up and stuff, but it's
Yep.
it's in the mind of the player. So you got to challenge yourself, and you know, you go into the lane and you think, okay, there's no shot blocker there. I'm gonna shoot it regular, and then you go in the lane, you say, oh, there's a 7-foot shot blocker. I really got to put some extra height on it, or I got to use the glass. And it's about your imagination and how you use it. And then you really have to practice that shot over and over again. It's very difficult, you know, you can't expect to, you know, not practice it and then go in a game and there's a 7-footer trying to block your shot, and I'm going to shoot a floater now. But you know, Steve Nash was one of the best. He practiced all those off-balance shots you saw him take and usually make in games. He practiced those. He would shoot those in practice, and if you just watch in the gym, you say, what is he doing? But then when you saw him play, you say, oh, now I understand what he was doing.
Not sure what the holdup was there. Either way, it's going to be Boca ball. Vildosa. Now a 3 on the way missed. Barber tries to back tap the rebound, but Manuel Romero ends up with it. Parodi picks up the dribble, gets it right side to Williams, and now down to Hassel. Back outside to Romero. Now Ogilvy baseline. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Ogilvy spinning. Williams has it blocked. Ogilvy gets it a little too short on the shot, but a foul called. And Ernesto Ogilvy will go to the free throw line. 0 for 2 from the stripe tonight, but he was 4 of 5 last night.
How about that, Craig? It went outside, inside, inside, back, outside, and outside, back to inside to a nice post-up move. Really nice basketball, good ball movement.
Ogilvy hits the first. And drains the second. Shows the tremendous amount of respect that Ernesto Ogilvy has, that he's named captain of this team. He's 34 years old, so he's not the oldest player, and he's not from Uruguay.
That's very unusual, yes.
I mean, granted, this isn't the international team, but my goodness, how about that alley-oop? Manuel Romero to Jordan Williams. He puts it down with the right hand, and the lead is back to 11, 42-31.
Jordan Williams is showing, he was 3 for 4 from the three in the first half. Now he shows his hops, and he can get up and tip dunk it. What a, or lob dunk it. Showing everything in his game right now.
Barber gets the offensive rebound, but another missed three-pointer by Boca. Boca
Craig,
now 4 of 21 from beyond the arc.
You talk about Ogilvy, and you just look at him and the way he plays and the way he's under control, and he just looks like a leader.
Luciano Perotti says, look what I found. Gets the easy layup in a 13-point lead for Hebraica, and Carlos Duro wants timeout. Biggest lead of the game now for Hebraica. Of course, we saw them last night. They had a 15-point lead in the second half that they saw dwindle away, and then lost in overtime to Flamengo. I'm sure they will be much more cognizant in the second half, letting Boca back into it.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, the coaching staff and teammates will remind each other, this isn't over. We need to finish the game, finish strong, keep playing our game. We don't want the same thing to happen tonight. So, you know, experiences, bad experiences teach you, you know, a lot. You know, I still think good experiences teach you just as much, but bad experiences seem to sting a little bit more.
I've heard the motivational and coaching philosophy that you never lose, you only learn.
Correct. And as a coach, I'd rather learn more when I'm winning than when I'm losing. When people say you learn more when you lose, I don't agree with that.
Man, did Jordan Williams get up for that. His hand was up near the top of the square.
He earned that number 23, the Michael Jordan number, on that play.
Did. Jordan,
and I guarantee his parents named him after Michael. If your first name is Jordan and your number's 23, there's a good chance you were named after Michael Jordan.
And he ended up being 6'6", just like Mike. So it all works out for Mr. Williams. Celebrated his 31st birthday yesterday. And now Raven Barber goes up with the right hand and tomahawks that one.
Telling people, hey, we're still here, man. We're still fighting. Nice pass, too. And great finish by Barber.
Romero makes his defender touch earth. I'm not sure if that was more of a slip. Now Ogilvy working baseline. And an offensive foul on Ogilvy. Leo Mainoli draws the charge.
Yep, he ducked his shoulder. It was a late call, but the right call.
It was the right call. Mainoli definitely sold it a little bit, though. You can
Whenever
see
you
him
duck your shoulder like that, you just alert the refs and you give them an excuse to call it. You know? Post players in the low post, use your spin moves, use your drop step. You can't power go through players. You can't go through the defense. You're just going to get an offensive foul.
Shaq would argue differently.
Yeah, but Shaq's different than any other player I've ever seen. I saw, and you know, I've met Shaq and talked to Shaq. I'm a big person. I'm 7 foot, and right now I'm at 300 pounds. But I played at 280. Shaq just admitted that he played at about 400 pounds.
I saw that. Yeah, later in his career.
Yep.
Parodi short on the three-point attempt. Rebound grabbed by Barber.
Ooh, they're slipping out there.
Yeah. Saw that in the early game between Udek and Obras.
A lot of
Don't
times
forget,
it's
it is
those
summer in
stickers
South
they put on the
America.
floor.
It is summer in South America, so maybe some humidity at play. No ice under the floor like you see in some NBA venues. Remember the old Boston Garden?
I remember it well.
with the ice under the floor there, and how sometimes that floor would get so slick.
Then there's screws sticking out, and
Yep.
it looked really pretty on TV, but you do not want to dive on the floor because you're going to end up cutting your legs up. Believe me, I know it from experience.
Screws sticking out of the floor, dead spots on the floor. And again, another, and I don't think this is urban legend, I think this was corroborated, that Boston's defense in critical situations would steer the other team toward the dead spots on the floor so that they would get a missed dribble.
Sure, you knew where the dead spots were, and when I played with Milwaukee, we spent a lot of the shoot around just dribbling on the court to see where those dead spots are. But you can definitely push the offense towards them for sure.
Sure. Sebastian Vega hits the three-pointer, and he tries to get his troops rallied. The lead is back down into single digits at 8. Williams launches the long three-pointer. There he is again! Jordan Williams from way outside. He answers, and now a foul at the other end by Manuel Romero, and the official says, I've had enough of that.
Boy, Jordan Williams can shoot with people on him, and he could shoot when he's deep. He was a good 2-3 feet behind the three-point line, that one.
That's one thing I like a little bit more about international FIBA play is the officials don't take nearly as much from the players. You might get your say. The official will hold up the finger and say, okay, that's enough. And if you keep it going, they've got that quick whistle for the tee. They don't entertain a lot of discussion.
I've been a coach with the Jamaican national team and the Great Britain team in the Olympics in 2012 and in the World Games. And yeah, the referees don't put up with any back talk in international play.
And another three. Vega scoring again from outside, and the lead's down to 6, 47-41. Is it maybe timeout time for Leonardo Zilberstein?
A little deja vu.
Deja vu all over again, but there's the layup.
He ran into the cameraman.
Yeah, Manuel Romero, he was in the middle of complaining about not getting fouled, and then he tripped over the cameraman. Now Vega muscles his way in, can't get it to fall, but he does draw the foul. And Manuel Romero is very close to getting himself a technical foul. And I think he did get one.
I think you're right. You called it. You called it. There's such thing as being fiery, and then there's a such thing as costing your team a point here in a game that's closer than you want it to be.
So the technical makes it 49-42. And now Vega will go to the free throw line for a pair. And Romero still having a discussion with the official.
And that's at a point where you just talked about, Craig, where officials should just tell a player, okay, that's enough. I heard it. That's enough. Let's move on.
And especially for a guy who's 31 years old.
We have a 5-point game.
Sometimes you just can't help yourself. A 5-point game indeed, 49-44, following the technical and then the 2 free throws by Vega as we approach the 3-minute mark in this third quarter. Let's see if Jordan Williams has an answer. Step back 3 from the left side, no. Rebound corralled by Vildosa. Vega for 3 again. Boy, that looked like it was going to be straight in.
Yeah, that did. That looked like that was right on point.
Yep, that had that pretty rotation. It was straight on. Just rolled off the top. Now Perotti to his right. Defender letting him have the left side. Now Perotti manages to get out to the right. Nicely done around the outside. 3-pointer missed. Nice job by Hebraica to get the open look at the 3. And an offensive foul on Manuel Rodriguez. Brian Garcia draws the charge.
Yep, look at the elbow.
All day long.
Whenever you get that thrown out there, you're going to get the call. And there's a player that did the right thing. He had a mismatch, went to the post, but I don't believe he practices enough, hook shots or drop steps, and then he gets an offensive foul. All you young players out there, work. I don't care how big you are, work on the post. Get some post
already
moves.
over the limit. Hebraica already over the limit. Boca with just 2 team fouls in this third quarter. Inside 2 minutes to play, and now a whistle.
I don't know why you take a foul like that. Obviously, he was trying to take that foul. That makes no sense to me, especially when the other team is shooting free throws. That makes no sense.
It's not like you had one to give.
No, and the guy you were guarding wasn't dangerous anyway. He wasn't going to do anything. This is like players think they're smarter than the game sometimes, but that makes no sense to foul there. This is how you lose a lead, Craig. You get technical fouls and you foul when you don't need to, and this is how you lose a lead.
Second free throw, and
Boca's taking advantage.
And the lead all the way down to 3. Boca led by, or rather, Hebraica led by 13 earlier in this period. A 15-5 run for Boca. And now timeout for Leonardo Zilberstein, and I think he's about ready to eat his clipboard along with some antacids. He sees another lead go away.
Believe me, I've been there.
Y defensivo. Y a Mata. Los dos grandes, Burgos y Mata. Tenemos que jugar con Frank y con Mauro. Entonces, lleva la pelota, así se involucra Luciano, lo ponemos en L, primera. Si este no recibe, porque nos están negando acá, me voy y ya vengo a la segunda. Ahora, escuchá, Frank, si Mauro está acá y está acá, por favor, tenés que venir acá para poder recibir la bola acá, para poder jugar, como hicimos ayer. Y acá en defensa, con el equipo juvenil de ellos, vamos en zona de vuelta, 2-3, vamos. Dale.
Really good job by the coach staying positive and keeping his team in it. But I know I've been there before. In the back of his head, he's going, not this again. Come on, guys.
Well, let's see how Hebraica Macabi responds. 1:55 to play in this third quarter. They lead by just 3. See if they get a good play out of this timeout. Perotti It's all the way to the baseline. Now they swing it around back up top. Shot clock at 4. And a travel. Parodi catches it and takes steps before dribbling. And they will call that every single time.
Yep, shuffled his feet there. And it's unfortunate because they executed the play, good ball movement, but at the end, it just traveled. And they're back in their zone.
Burgos cut off. Gets it out to Mata. Shot clock at 7. The 15-foot floater is up and in for Jose Vildosa. And we have a 1-point game as we approach the 1-minute mark of this third quarter.
There's your floater, Craig.
Yes, sir. Parodi tries to get it to Ogilvy. He's bottled up but splits the defenders. Goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Hebraica. 55 seconds to play in this third quarter. 9 on the shot clock. Ball bouncing right into your screen there. Whether you're watching on a big flat screen on your mobile phone or tablet, on FanDuel TV in the USA, on DirecTV across South America, and on the rest of the world, the BCL Americas YouTube channel. Welcome in, everybody. Alongside Paul Mokeski, my name's Craig Feta. Second day of play in the 23-24 BCL Americas season.
And Craig, there's Jordan Williams showing me that he's more than just a shooter. He actually had that great dunk, and now he got an offensive rebound when his team needed it, and then put it back up and got fouled.
It's the first free throw. Get the lead back to 2. He's got one more to come. Williams hits them both and gives Hebraica just a little bit of breathing room. At 3 points.
Yeah, Hebraica's sitting back in that zone.
Vildosa missed the 3. Ball went up and hit the, not sure if it was the shot clock or the basket structure, either way. It's a dead ball and Hebraica possession. Parodi, lob inside to Ogilvy. Didn't get it quite far enough, and the pass is intercepted. Vildosa now, shot clock off. Game clock at 13. Back out to Vildosa. They swing it left side. Now the drive. And the fadeaway by Mata. Short. Rebound Ogilvy, and he draws the foul. Not a terrible foul, not a shooting situation. As Burgos gets the whistle. So 3.2 seconds. Hebraica to inbound.
I'm betting
from the sideline.
Oh, maybe not.
And Parodi from about 10 feet past half court launches it over the backboard, and we go to the fourth quarter separated by just 3 points, 51-48. This is BCLA America's action live from Maracanazinho in Rio de Janeiro. We are back with fourth quarter action between Hebraica Macabi and Boca Jrs in just a moment. Welcome back to Rio de Janeiro. Hebraica trying to prevent a second consecutive second half collapse. Last night, they led by 15 against Flamengo, ended up losing in overtime, 92-87. Led by as many as 13 in the third quarter. Boca Jrs got it down to just one for the end of the third. Here comes Hassel. And the easy left-hand hook gets Hebraica
Nice
back
strategy.
up by 5.
A nice strategy for them just to go, take it easy, take your time, get it deep into the post and score an easy basket.
3 missed by Marcos Mata. Now running up ahead to Ogilvy. And Hebraica turns it over. And a technical foul called. That's going to be on Leonardo Silberstein. We talked about it before, Paul. The officials in FIBA play do not give you very much.
No, they don't mess around, and they don't give you very many warnings. I mean, you know, in the NBA and even in the G League and stuff like that, the referees are more talkative, and, you know, they'll give you a warning. But in FIBA play at the high level, they just don't put up with any of that, you know, back talk or anything, and their fuses are a little shorter, and you just got to know that, and you just got to bite your tongue sometimes.
Vega. Slick pass there by Mata. Back to Vildosa. Mata's got it again. Now Vildosa. Here's Vega on the attack up over Hassel, and good.
That time they attacked the zone, they moved it, and then drove it and got into the paint to score. But the zone has been bothering them most of this game.
Parodi to Garcia, back to Parodi, and now Hassel working on Mainoldi. Frank Hassel into the lane, left-hand hook, draws the foul, count the bucket. Are they not counting the bucket?
They call offensive foul?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess he had that elbow up high.
Call.
Yeah, it is.
That's a tough call. Because obviously they're going inside and looking to score, and that wasn't a blatant offensive foul.
No, it really wasn't. I mean, you don't know if it was the first bump or if it was the elbow up high. The elbow wasn't all that strong, but it was still up high. Now Vega shuffles the feet, and he turns it over with a chance to tie. And let's see if Boca will regret that turnover. Manuel Romero. Ogilvy on the left side. Jordan Williams. Curl 3, no. Ogilvy fights for the rebound, and he draws the foul. That's going to be on Manuel Rodriguez.
See, that's showing you young players out there. You can affect the game in different ways. You don't just have to be scoring. He attacked the offensive glass and made the defense foul him and got his team another possession. Very important.
Parodi around the screen by Hassel. Step back, long jumper, no. Boca with a chance to tie again. Take the lead with a 3. They put it up, missed. Hassel the rebound. He's got 7 boards now. Hassel the lob inside to Ogilvy. Working baseline, has it poked out of there. Now up ahead to Vega. And Parodi commits the foul. Vega has a chance to give Boca the lead from the free throw line.
Now that's a classic Euro step in the N1.
This would be Boca's first lead of the game.
Where did Vega go?
I don't know. Maybe they're looking for him.
He went to the bench. Wait a minute. I come back here. You guys shoot a free throw.
Oh, yeah, I got a free throw here. Vega 4 of 4 from the stripe, now 5 of 5, and Boca has their first lead of this game, 54-53.
Can you believe what you're seeing, Craig? This is crazy.
I mean, Parodi answers. I mean, I can believe what I'm seeing, but I'm not sure I can believe that it's happening 2 nights in a row to Hebraica.
Yeah, that's it'd be a heart-crushing defeat. But if they can somehow find themselves and get this win, that'll be just as encouraging. Wow, what a drive and left-handed finish.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's big play right there.
Another opportunity for a 3-point play. Hassel's going to have a seat. Going to get him a little bit of a blow here for the stretch run. Tied up at 56. Vildosa to the free throw line. He has not shot a free throw in this game yet. And he misses and cannot complete the 3-point play, so we are tied at 56.
We got a barn burner on our hands.
I think you're right earlier when you called it a defensive battle. Now Ogilvy with the hook along the baseline. Tough shot by Ogilvy. And that's about the 3rd or 4th time in this second half that we've seen Hebraica lob it into Ogilvy over the defense like that. A couple of times it's gotten poked out of there, but they've had success with it a couple of times. Oh, a nice find under the bucket by Leo Mainoldi to find Manu Rodriguez.
That's a huge defensive mistake. You can't double the post by the lowest defender underneath the basket. That's basketball 101. You have to double from the top usually and make them pass it out. And that's a bad defensive mistake at the wrong time.
That led to the wide open bucket for Manuel Rodriguez. And we are tied up again with 5:57 to play. Dare I say, in regulation.
Is the referee talking to both coaches now, huh?
Yep. Our mics could not pick up what he was saying there. But it's going to be Hebraica ball. That may have just been one of those where it was like, okay, we've heard enough from both coaches. That's enough.
Yeah, it could have been for sure, yeah.
Parodi in the lane. There's another floater. That one misses.
Yeah.
Rebound, Mata out of bounds, and that's going to be Boca ball.
I'm interested to see if they stay in the zone here on defense when the big fella's out now. Hassel is out. Maybe they go back to man for a minute. We'll see here.
Look at Leonardo Silberstein taking a drink of water. No doubt his vocal cords are a little weary. And we are going to a video review.
I wonder what that review is about. Interesting.
Well, the ball went out of bounds, and they said it was going to be Boca ball. Let's see if we can catch a replay here. Again, our officiating crew.
Replays are important, but at this point in the game, they're doubly, triply important of some of these calls.
Every possession counts. Again, our officials: Krishna Dominguez of Mexico, Jason Steele of Canada, and Ramiro Marquez Incauspe of Brazil.
I think Jason Steele of Canada might have given me a technical when I was in Moncton. It was probably well-deserved, too.
I was going to say, I'm sure that doesn't put him in elite company.
I'll tell you, Craig, I was at the in-season tournament of the NBA here in Las Vegas this past weekend, and I'm sitting down by the court before the game, and a former referee walks by me, and he's now the head of referees, and we talked for a little bit, and I told him, I know you gave me some technicals.
So they stay with the original call. It's going to be Boca ball. And did he whistle you again right then and there?
No, he didn't have a whistle, or he probably would have. But Craig, I know that sometimes these replay taking time and everything bothers people, but it's better to get the call right anyway. So
oh, absolutely.
That was good. Yeah.
Especially in a tight game. It's more frustrating when it's 20-point spread. But I think, again, the officials have the discretion in a situation like that to say, no, we don't need to do a replay here. Ogilvy rips the rebound out of there, but a foul called.
And Macabi did go back to man-to-man for a minute.
You see the foul on Manuel Rodriguez got into the face. Just 2 team fouls against each squad. Erodi around the Ogilvy screen. Back out to Romero. Now Ogilvy.
Looking down
now
the post
inside
again.
To Ogilvy. There's the hook. It won't fall. Ogilvy gets his own rebound. Double, triple fake. Goes up off the glass and in. Two ball fakes and then finally went up. Coming up on 4.5 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. And a foul on Manuel Romero, and he did not like that call.
What a big play by Ogilvy, huh? I mean, they went to the post, and he get a couple pump fakes, and he didn't get the foul, but he finished strong underneath. That's a huge play down the stretch here.
13th foul on Hebraica. Vildosa right side to Vega. Now into the corner. Here comes Mainoldi. His pass is intercepted. Romero taking it himself, swatted out of there, but there for the tip-in is Juan Ducasse. His first 2 points of the night. He had 7 last night. He's been quiet tonight in 20-plus minutes of action. And now a 4-point lead for Hebraica Macabi with 4:15 to play and a timeout by Carlos Duro.
And those are all hustle plays, Craig. That was a hustle play. He didn't expect his teammate to make the layup. He continued on and stuck it back in on the offensive glass. That's just hustle and playing all the way through the whistle.
And we talked about it earlier, Paul, about some of the slickness on the floor. We see on both benches assistants fanning the players with towels. We see the players wiping off a lot of sweat. It's summer in the Southern Hemisphere, and I don't know if you've been in some of these arenas in South America. They don't always have air conditioning, and they don't, even when they do have air conditioning, it's not always the best. I remember doing a tournament in Barquisimeto in Venezuela where I thought we were absolutely going to actually literally melt. It was so hot. Done one in the British Virgin Islands. That was the same way. So these guys could be getting gassed here at the end of this game.
You know, it's interesting. I was with the Jamaican national team in the British Virgin Islands for the Caribbean Championships, and the same thing happened. And they actually had to call a game and pick it up the next day because it was so slick, and they just couldn't get it dried off in time.
Wow.
It is.
Don't
I
tell
remember
me.
scouting. I remember scouting the game on the sideline. I was just sweating bullets. It was so hot in there.
Don't tell me you were in the BVI in 2015 for the Caribbean Basketball Confederation Championship, because that was the first FIBA event I worked.
I might have been. I can't remember. I think that's around when I was with the Jamaican national team. Sam Vincent was the head coach.
Yep. Sam Vincent was the head coach for BVI, right?
No, he was for Jamaica. I was his assistant.
Oh, was he Jamaica? Okay.
Yep.
I know he coached another team in the Caribbean as well.
That year we beat BVI in the championship in their own gym, which is a nice little gym but hot. We might have been in the same town at the same time.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
I would think I would remember that you were on Sam Vincent's staff that year. Yeah, that was a hot tournament. That was in Road Town on the island of Tortola in the British Virgin Islands.
It was beautiful.
And I remember Sam Vincent nearly pulled his team off the floor because he was not satisfied with the officiating as Jordan Williams scores again. And the lead is back to 6.
And this is a big time for them to come through here, because you know they're thinking about what happened last night, and now they're thinking hopefully that this is not going to happen again. We're going to do what we need to do to win this game, and it looks like they're doing it.
A 6-0 run after it was tied at 58. Parodi into the lane. Oh, a little bit too much mustard on that pass. Was trying to get it to Ernesto Ogilvy.
That's a case of trying to force something that's not there.
Ogilvy sensed they had an opportunity there.
Yeah, and he had Jordan Williams on the skip pass that was wide open, but he tried to force it.
Vildosa. And now Mainoldi gets it back to Vildosa. Catch and shoot. Shotman for 3. Missed badly. Boy, you don't see Carlos Shotman miss like that very often. My goodness. This guy's been a shooter for a long time.
Yeah, he forced that shot. And what happens with players sometimes in this situation, when the game gets tight like that, they start forcing things. The players that can calm down and just stay calm are the ones that are successful.
Ogilvy missed that 3-point shot. He was 0 for 2 from beyond the arc last night. That was his first attempt tonight. Another 3-pointer missed, and Juan Ducase says, okay, let's slow things down here.
Probably go inside.
Parodi calls for the screen from Ogilvy.
Then he's going to get a back pick from Williams.
3 on the way, short. Parodi the rebound. Big offensive board there for Luciano Parodi. Williams drives the lane, draws the foul, and he comes up a little gimpy.
I think that looks more like a cramp than a pull in his hamstring.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Boy, that would have been a nice left-handed finish at the end there. Yeah, it looks like a cramp. That's fortunate,
sure
you know. Yeah, it's not, you know, you don't want to see him down with a pulled hamstring. But like I said earlier, Jordan Williams, he's making threes. He finished with a dunk. He's going to the basket. He's making free throws. He's just playing an all-around solid game. Really impressed with his game.
Williams with 20 points, 3 rebounds in this game. He had 15 points, 8 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks on his birthday last night.
And he's the type of player now, Craig, that he knows what happened last night, and it looks like he's going, okay, this is not going to happen tonight. I'm not going to let this happen tonight.
And Maccabi, with veterans on the floor, Garcia at 33 years old, Ogilvy at 34, Perotti at 29, Jordan Williams at 31. And Juan Ducasse, we've seen him at the international level. He's 25, but he's experienced as well. And now Jordan Williams gives Hebraica an 8-point lead.
And you see that Maccabi switched to a man. They've been playing zone a lot, but just a little bit too aggressive. You don't have to be this aggressive here. You want to make them make a good play. You don't want to foul them and bail them out. Luckily, it's not shooting foul.
Yeah, 14 foul on Hebraica. Boca also with 14 fouls inside 2 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Here comes the drive by Vildosa. He kicks it out, and then losing the handle in the corner is Sebastian Vega in front of the Maccabi bench, and they are showing their enthusiasm as they can perhaps sense that this one's getting closer. I see Golan Gut sitting on the bench. He's in uniform, but he hurt that knee last night. Perotti gets it back from Ogilvy. Shot clock at 10. 1.5 minutes to play. Perotti from 18. Splash that! Luciano Perotti gives Hebraica Maccabi a 68-58 lead with 1:27 to play. Big shot by Luciano Perotti.
And not only that shot, but remember a couple plays ago, he's one of the smallest guys on the court. He got the offensive rebound to kick it back out to Jordan Williams, who got fouled. He's making huge plays down the stretch here.
Timeout by Carlos Duro. And now, Paul, if you're Carlos Duro, faced with an 8-point deficit and just about 1.5 minutes to play, what do you do here?
Obviously, you want to get a good, quick shot. It doesn't have to be a 3 at this point, but you need to get it off quickly, attack the rim maybe, kick it out if you have to, get a quick bucket, whether it's 2 or 3, and then put a full court press on them and see if you can turn them over at least once. And and then keep being aggressive on offense. But you don't have to force a 3 here. You just need a shot, a good shot, quickly.
Look at the big steal, and then the finish by Ducasse. And there's Williams with the turnaround right-hander, and Perotti's big 19-footer from the top of the key. See those fringed twines dancing. Vildosa now to his left, picked up by Ogilvy, right side to Mata. Now Mainoldi works his way in off the glass and in. There's that quick bucket that you talked about.
Now it picks back down to 8. On them. Don't foul. Just keep pressure on them. Make them take a tough shot now. You don't have to foul. There's still a minute left. Just play solid defense and get a stop.
Schottman commits that foul. Schottman was giving up the baseline, and then he hits Perotti right in the beak with the right arm and says, sorry about that.
See,
those two guys have seen a lot of each other over the years.
That's what drives coaches crazy. If you're going to do that, do it 7 seconds before that.
Free throw missed by Perotti.
Craig, now you're in the same situation. Make or miss, push it, get a quick, good shot. Doesn't have to be a 3 yet. and then pick up the pressure again. See if you can turn them.
Second free throw up and in, 69-60. Still a 3-possession game. What an athletic rebound by Jordan Williams to save that one. Now Boca
that
pretty
was a
much
heck
has
of
to
a
foul.
block. My goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, can you do anything else?
Might drive the team bus back to the hotel.
I told
Williams.
you, right? Well,
Shot blocked on the three-point attempt. Williams gets back and forces the miss, though. And then Mainoldi on the finish. Although Boca kind of called the dogs off.
Jordan Williams didn't let them lose. He made those free throws. He just blocked a shot. He's just doing everything tonight.
Williams and Perotti down the stretch for Hebraica. And Hebraica, after the heartbreak of last night, weathers the storm and seals the deal against Boca. Hebraica led by 13 points in the third quarter. Boca tied it up at 56. Actually, Boca took a lead at 54-53 on a three-point play by Sebastian Vega with 7:27 to play in the game. But a good timeout by Leonardo Zilberstein and great play down the stretch by Luciano Perotti and Jordan Williams and Ernesto Ogilvy, and they come away with the 69-62 win. Let's look at the final numbers on this one. For Hebraica Macabi, 26 of 60 from the floor overall for 43%, 8 of 25 from three-point range, 9 of 12 from the stripe. Boca Jrs, 22 of 60 for 36.7%. They were 6 of 32 from three-point range. More than half of their shots came from beyond the arc. They were 12 of 14 from the free throw line. How about the rebounding battle? Hebraica Macabi, 42 rebounds, 27 for Boca. Let's look at the individual numbers as we look at the Group C standings. Hebraica Macabi on top by virtue of the fact they've played one more game. For Hebraica, as we roll the highlights, 2 points for Juan Ducase, 5 rebounds. Brian Garcia had 6. Ernesto Ogilvy, 14 points, 12 rebounds. Luciano Perotti, 19 points, 4 rebounds. Jordan Williams had 22. For Boca Jrs, Leo Mainoldi, 11. Marcos Mata, 10. Jose Vildosa, 11. Those are their leading scorers. For my partner, Paul Mokeski, my name's Craig Feda. We are back tomorrow night with Franca Obras and Flamenco Boca Jrs. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. So long for now.
Yo no guardaría nada. Yo no guardaría nada. te digo más. ¿Querés sacarla? Sacala, por favor. Porque yo las traemos acá todas donde está la 5, borradita. Ponela, ahora. Pero si se van a robar algo, se van a llevar todo.